Are you ready to improve your email marketing? I'm going to share 3 tactics that you can implement immediately. That's this week on Think Tank Tuesday. Hi, I'm Paul Potratz, and welcome to this week's Think Tank Tuesday. Surely you're still doing email marketing. I know you're probably reading the articles and people are saying email marketing doesn't work. Well, here's the question to you. When is the last time you checked your email? Was it 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes ago? Email marketing works, guys. I know it works. If you don't believe so, sign up for Think Tank Tuesday because we email a lot. But this week, I'm going to share some tactics that it's proven that we use week in, week out, and it will make a difference in your email marketing. Step number 1 to better email marketing is to test your subject lines. Yeah, it takes a little extra work, but it's well worth the time. So how do you test your subject lines? It's really easy. I want you to take your email database and break it down. So let's say that you have an email database of 500 email addresses total. Take 50 of those email addresses and break it into 25 and 25. I want you to have 2 different subject lines. And here's a little tip for you, so write this down. A way to come up with a good subject line is the next time you're at the grocery store and you're standing in line and you're reading all those tabloids and all those crazy magazines, look at the titles, look at the subject lines that they have on the magazines. They're pretty thought-provoking. They get you to pick up that magazine and read, so why not try that? You want an easier one? Just go to Google Images and just Google some of the different magazine articles and you'll see subject lines. Just put in whatever that message is that you're trying to get across. So there's a way for subject lines, but break it up, 25, 25, send it at the same time and see which one performs better. Now you have your subject line. So that was step number 1, subject lines. Step number 2, make sure whatever your subject line is, that the content of the email actually matches it. But here's a word of caution. In your email that you're sending out, are you trying to deliver all of your message in the email? What is the goal of your email? So let me clarify. If the goal of your email is to generate phone calls, well, then you got to ask for the phone call. If it's to generate clicks over to your website, well, then you got to ask for the click to your website. Don't get confusing. Go in with it knowing what the goal is. Either it's a phone call or a click over to your website, or it's purely educational. If you're getting Think Tank Tuesday, which you are probably, hopefully, if not, go to our website and sign up. But you'll notice when we send out Think Tank Tuesday every week, and there's the screen grab of the video, we're not telling you what the video's about. So let me say that again. When we send you Think Tank Tuesday, we're not telling you what the video is completely about. We're posing questions. And so when we pose questions, you're going, oh yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So that forces you to click that video image and come over to our website to watch the video. I hope that makes complete sense. So again, you've got your subject line. Your subject line has to match the content within the email. Otherwise, there's a disconnect and people will bounce out and it won't work. All right, number 3, before you actually send the email, you need to test the email. And what I mean by that is you need to use like a third-party service and you need to check it in different browsers. What does it look like on an iPhone? What does it look like on a Droid? What does it look like on a Windows phone? What does it look like in Firefox, Chrome? So check all of the different browsers. Make sure it's presenting properly and don't stop there. Because a lot of times you say, oh yeah, it looks great. You need to check all of the links. If you have links in that email, you need to check the links because they might not work in the different browsers. So that's critically important. Next step, are you ready for the next step? Because this is a big one, because now you did the subject line, you made sure the content worked, and you made sure it displayed right in the various browsers. The next one is a good email provider. If you're trying to send mass email through, let's say, one of your CRMs, which is a customer relationship management, there's a good chance your CRM is not an ISP-approved vendor. In other words, there's a good chance that they won't get through the firewall, the spam wall. So you've got to go with a web or an email provider that will really, get you through those firewalls. And how can you tell if you're with a good email provider? Well, if you go to upload your email database and they say, hey, I need double opt-in verification and I need verification where the list came from, is the list not bought and all that, chances are it's probably a good email provider. That's chances are. But again, you need to make sure, yeah, it's more of a hassle, everything that I've said, but if it's worth doing right, is it not? So here's another test you can do. If you can do a search, go to Google or Yahoo or Bing or whatever and do a search and say, is my server blacklisted? Check my server blacklist. And then you can check whoever your email provider is, because chances, what could happen here, this is just a chance, what can happen is they've got numerous people on the same server and you don't even know who these people are, and you might have some spammers on there. So they're spamming off of that server, which means that, when you're sending your emails, they have no idea whether it's you or whether it's, the ShamWow guy that's spamming everybody. So you want to check that and make sure that you're not on a server that's blacklisted. So that's what you want to do. All right, next tip, look at your analytics. It's really simple. Check your analytics. So you're sending the email, see how it's performing. You've got to know what it's doing. What is your open rate? What is your click-through rate? Word of caution though, if you don't have anything to click, you're not going to have a click-through rate. How many phone calls did you get? So you want to check the analytics. You want to know what's going on. And then the last tip for this, and I'm telling you, this one's going to work for you, is don't send an email once and forget it. Send an email multiple times. You've probably been exposed to it. I've done it before, where I would send an email and then I would follow up. I would send an email a week later, a few days later, where I would send the email to you again, where the other email was copied below and it had the RE, response, or a forward, and then I was just saying, hey, I sent you an email a week ago and I just wanted to follow up and make sure you received it. So don't do the one-hit wonder where you send the email and go, wow, that didn't work. So send the email, follow up, do it again. And like I mentioned last week, if you really want to make your email on steroids, consider a ringless voicemail drop. That's the tip this week. See you next week.